We took a little morning ride and checked on the maple trees. It's hard to believe that in 4 short months, we're going to be tapping these trees to produce our maple syrup already. Time has flown by. Hey guys, welcome back to Gina's Legacy Farm. It's Kelsey. So this is Sunday, October 24th, and here in Southeast Michigan, we got our first freeze this morning. Our first frost. Now it was a killing frost. I can tell a lot of stuff out here is dying. We're out in the garden right now, and honestly, I'm okay with that this year. First, like I said, it's October 24th, and this is a little late for us to be actually getting our first frost here. Last year, it was right around September 22nd, I believe, was when we got our first frost. Maybe the 21st is right around there. So we got our first frost last year, and then we had several already by this time, the end of October. So it has actually been a pretty mild fall for us so far this year, and so I'm ready for it. I knew that the garden wasn't going to last forever, and all I really had left out here were my cut flowers, so like zinnias, and I've got a decent amount of peppers. And so right now I'm just going through and I'm picking the rest of the peppers, and I'm actually like pulling the plant up, as you guys saw in that last clip, pulling the plant up and just picking them off. It's easiest to do right now because the plants don't look horrible right now, but I know they got it, and you can tell. I mean, maybe there would be a chance of them coming back, but like I said, we're at the end of October here in Michigan, so there's no point of prolonging anything, and everything else in my garden is done. It's had its time, and it's ready to rest. So there's no point of prolonging anything at this point. You can see I'm going to try to get it on camera. I tried to get it with that last clip too, but you can just see they got it. Now these peppers still feel alright. Well, not all of them, I should say. But I'm actually going to take these in the house and freeze a good bunch of these right now anyways. So that's kind of what my plans are with these. Cook them up, freeze them. Well, not both. Either cook them up or freeze them. So just kind of, just use them up right away. Now, and I did leave quite a bit of fruit on these plants. If I wanted to, I could have came out here and picked these all yesterday. You know, I knew there was a chance of this happening. But I've gotten so much off these peppers already this year. I actually had a great pepper year. This is probably the first time that I can say that in the last couple of years that I had a excellent pepper year. That was probably my only thing that really did excellent out here this year. I was so busy and we had a lot of new things going on. So there was quite a bit of neglect to the garden this year. I'll be honest. So peppers did extremely well. I have canned cowboy candy made out of my sweet banana peppers, which is majority of what I grew out here is sweet peppers, sweet bananas, and I did a couple other varieties this year. But so I canned, I froze, used a lot fresh. We definitely got our use out of our peppers this year. So just kind of cleaning that stuff up this morning, and I'll let the chickens come out here. And they've been out here the last couple days. And I honestly, this week I pulled a lot of stuff anyways. Like the rest of my tomato plants. I mean, they were all, the blight got them quite a while ago. So they're all ready to be pulled out. It's funny because I'll show you guys my sweet potato vine. Now, I love sweet potato vine. I get that from my grandma. She loves sweet potato vine as well. And I was looking at the other day when I was tearing a lot of my stuff out. And I'm like, you know, I should just grab that too. But it was so beautiful. I didn't want to grab it yet, you know, because I was just composting everything, pulling out a lot of my plants, you know, getting ready for the change of season here. And I'm like, it's so beautiful. I don't want to pull it yet. Well, I'm kicking myself that now we had a frost like 3 days later and I could have just done it. So should have done it then, but I got a couple more days out of it and it's still beautiful. So I got to do that today yet. Still a project. And I still haven't gone over to the cut flowers yet. I have a row of zinnias in here and, you know, they're all pretty hit. So I got to look at those, and so I showed you on camera, but I still have to go to the other cut flowers to kind of see. But I know all that stuff is hit, and honestly, it wasn't doing that well anyways. At this point in the season, it's time. You know, it's, like I said, it's end of October. We are definitely done here in Michigan. So this frost was not upsetting this year. Now, last year I had things planned for fall. My garden was, you know, amazing because I wasn't working most of the year. So my garden was just beautiful last year, and then we got that frost in like mid-September, and that kind of crushed me a little bit. But this year it's time for it to go. Most of it's already been, you know, ripped out anyways, so it's not a problem. I'm not too upset about it this year. We went and kind of drove around the farm this morning on our side-by-side, and we were looking at the fall colors and stuff. Especially the maples are really good right now. And I got to thinking, I'm like, in just 4 short months, we're going to be tapping these maple trees. You know, like, it's just crazy how that goes. Honestly, I've gotten a lot better over, especially this year, I'd say, I've gotten a lot better with coping with the seasons, because there truly is a season for everything on the farm. Funny, because it used to seem like winter would just take forever, and it doesn't anymore. You know, we're still cleaning out the garden until very late fall, and, you know, finishing with the harvest and preparing all that, and then, you know, even before spring, like late winter, very, very early spring, we're tapping the trees and stuff. So winter does not as dreary as it used to be, and it does not take as long as it used to be either. So it's a much needed time of rest that we have coming up, but really we'll just be preparing for next year, picking out the seeds for the garden and picking out my sires for my calves for next year, and, you know, getting ready for the next year's breeding program. And so there's always stuff to do. It's funny because people ask me, well, what are you going to do during the winter now? And I'm like, prepare for next year and actually breathe. So that's what we've got going on right now. I'm going to finish cleaning up these peppers. Then I'll show you guys the sweet potato vine. And I'll take you into the cut flower patch too and kind of show you how that all looks. So it's the end of the season, but it's a welcome end of the season this year. I'm not upset about it. Now, if this was like an earlier season frost, there are, you know, things you can do to kind of make your season last longer. I could have put sheets out here and really worried about it, but at this point, I mean, pretty soon we're going to have where all our nights are freezing, so there's no point in me for prolonging this season, plus I was ready to be done. So we're not really trying to prolong the season at this point, but you definitely could have done that. Another trick that my husband always talks about, but it's not something I've ever tried, is because the frost did not hit until like 7 or so this morning. At least that's what like AccuWeather was showing, and I kind of saw that last night too. So I actually could have came out and like started a sprinkler or something to kind of keep the frost from setting in, keep things from freezing, but there is no point this year. But that is something that other people do, and that's an option for you if you are still in a warmer climate and you're not quite ready to throw in the towel, but you know that the weather's coming. Definitely sheets. You can try the sprinkler method. You know, just any type of covering so that the frost doesn't get it. Make sure you remove it first thing in the morning, because if you use something that is like a clear plastic, if you do end up having a warm sunny day, you're going to like fry those plants. So make sure you take it off first thing in the morning once the chance of frost is clear. Now, I haven't talked to you guys too much lately. We've been very busy this year, so have not been on here too much lately, but that is going to change. I'm gonna have some time now. I'll be able to post much more frequent videos. So let me know in the comments if there's something specific you want to see, or something that is part of my usual content that you want to see more of. Maybe that's cooking videos, maybe that's more about the cattle or chickens. And I do have plans for more cattle and chicken videos coming up too. I'll give you guys a little teaser of that. I'm going to make a video that's going to be about kind of like my timeline with the chickens, like what I do so that I have, you know, my girls at their peak of production in the springtime, and kind of like my timeline for hatching and getting chicks and all that. Then I'll also do some on cattle breeding as well, and different protocols and AI protocols that we do here on the farm, because that is very much a part of what we do here. So I want to share that with you guys as well. I'm actually really happy with the amount of peppers that I'm harvesting right now, and I've gotten, these were kind of my younger ones that I was holding on to, because I did a large harvest not that long ago. Like I said, I have been freezing, canning these peppers like crazy, so they did very well this year. I think part of that is I did a lot of peppers this year, and I did them close together, and I hear that peppers like to be close. I know like Jessica Sowers that I follow, Roots Refuge Farm, she always jokes that peppers like to hold hands, so kind of plant them closer. So we did that this year, and I planted a bunch of them, and they really did well. So I don't know if that's part of it or not, but we're going to try that again next year too. So when is your guys' first expected frost date? So tell me in the comments when your first expected frost date is, and if you've had one or not this year. Ours is typically, according to what I see online, it's October 21st is our expected first frost, and it is October 24th now, but honestly most times we do have it earlier than that. So it depends. From what a lot of like local farmers have told me around here, that anytime after September 20th, you've got a chance. And that's kind of like what happened to us last year. So you have a chance anytime after there, typically, and then this year it was just later and kind of fell in the normal ranges of after October 21st. But it's usually around that time. So I also want to take this time to kind of go through like a review of what's going to be on my grow list for next year and what is not. So definitely can cross off the list these Nata Pinot peppers. These are from Baker's Creek, and I believe other people have them too. It's not anything against Baker's Creek or anything like that. That's just where I got them from. But I was not a super big fan of these. You can see they look just like jalapenos, but they have no heat. And they're not sweet, which I guess, I mean, no one ever told me that they were. So that's not on anyone but me. But they didn't do it for me. I didn't really care for them. They were just kind of bland. And they didn't have good flavor, I should say. At least I didn't think so. They weren't good in the applications that I like them, so I'll probably gift the seeds to someone else because, I mean, the plants did fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I just didn't care for the flavor. That's a me thing, not a them thing. So, not terrible. I mean, you can see I'm still using the peppers, but not going to be on my grow list for next year. Now, something that I'm going to replace it with is my Tangerine Dream sweet peppers. I already went through those plants, but so this is what they look like. These are the Tangerine Dream, and I think these are just burpee seeds. It's something that's like common in the store, and I actually bought these several years ago. But there's Tangerine Dream, and they are cute little orange peppers, really good sweet flavor. And another thing I found was they have these cute, so before they, you know, completely ripen and turn orange, they're just these cute little green peppers. Find one. Here we go. They're just these cute little green peppers. And, you know, they look like a jalapeno. They're kind of thick-walled like a jalapeno. And no heat. And they're sweet. Very good. I like this way better than the jalapenos. So, yeah, you can get them to the orange stage and they're even sweeter and really good. Or if you want something to replace a jalapeno, you can pick them at the green stage and they look just like it, nice thick-walled, got that green color, and they have good sweet flavor. So I'm going to be growing those next year, so the jalapenos. Definitely more of the Tangerine Dreams, no jalapenos here. Sweet bananas, they did well as always. I love sweet bananas. I know a lot of people don't actually like sweet banana peppers, but they are definitely one of my favorites here. Another one, Jigsaw Pepper. I might do this next year, but if I do, it's just going to be like 1-2 plants. Nothing crazy. This plant is absolutely gorgeous. You can see even the peppers are beautiful on this. And they just grow cute little tiny peppers. They are very, very hot. I do not enjoy hot peppers. We are very much sweet pepper people. So, the only thing that I do like about this is that if you are like making salsa or something and you want just a little bit of heat, you can throw like 2 of these in there and you've got that, at least for my taste. But the plant, I mean, it's very prolific, so you could throw, you know, this is just one plant. You definitely throw more in there. So that's why it is nice for us So I might grow this again next year, but it's going to be like one plant. It's beautiful. See the variegated, the frost kind of got it, so it's not as pretty as it usually is. But it is purple, white, and green. And I'll post a picture. I wanted to see if I could use this for cut flowers, but I could not because it didn't hold up. It didn't have very good vase life. But I took a picture of it not that long ago, so I'll put that there where it's actually pretty. But even that, like, it does not do it justice. This is a beautiful plant. It's an ornamental pepper, but obviously peppers are still edible. They are just super hot. So if that is something, you know, that you don't really care for the pepper spice, but you don't mind having, you know, just a couple that you could throw in something, a dish to kind of increase the heat level a little bit, this is actually an ideal plant. Because you're not going to do too much else with these. I mean, look at, that's the size of these. They didn't get real big and crazy. So I don't really know what else you could do with these. I don't know, maybe you could probably come up with something to can them, but I will not be. This is that gorgeous Jigsaw Pepper. And even this picture doesn't do it justice. That is also something we're going to expand on more next year is, you know, looking at some other pepper varieties. We love our peppers. We love our sweet peppers. And we want to expand that next year. So if you have a favorite sweet pepper, please let me know. I don't care what seed company you get it from. Drop it in the comments and let me know what it is. And I would love to try it. We like our sweet peppers. Or if you want to send me seeds or exchange seeds or something, you could let me know that in the comments too. And we can come up with something. We can work that out. So I would love to try your sweet peppers. I did use some Anaheim peppers, poblanos. We do like those, and we did some bells, but honestly, we didn't do that many bells this year. It was the sweet bananas was like the #1 thing that I did. Next year, I do want to do some more bells, and oh yeah, there's one here. You can see it's not a bad size. Well, here's the cutflower patch. This is kind of sad looking. Everything that's over here is dead. On my cosmos. Honestly, I wasn't even really picking anymore because I picked some last weekend to take to a craft show that we were selling our honey maple syrup at, just as like a little display for my table. And it was so cold and windy that my flowers looked terrible. So to have them for as long as I did was actually really good. So, bye flowers. I will see you again next year. Watermelons are probably going to turn out to be a chicken treat because I've been kind of trying to pick and keep an eye on all the signs that I know of, like when a watermelon is supposed to be ready, you know, when the stem dries up and when it's got a yellow spot and when it's hollow. You know, I have all the tips from commercial farmers at my disposal for that. And the start date around here, I mean, I really tried this year and I just cannot grow watermelon. I've tried several years in a row to do it, and I cannot do it. And I will say it is a little difficult here in Michigan to grow watermelon because we do have a shorter growing season, but a lot of people do it beautifully and I just am not one of those. So next year I am going to try to do some more, I've never done it. I'm going to try to do some like smaller personal melons, even like some cantaloupe, stuff like that. I'm going to try to do that, and I'm just gonna hang up the watermelon. Now I say that now, and you guys probably like next year I'll come back and be like, thought you weren't gonna grow watermelon. Me too. I'm gonna try not to, but who knows, I'll probably be like, I just want to try one more time. But I think personal smaller melons are gonna be where it's at, because this is actually not supposed to be as small as it is, but that's what we got. Ooh, as the day goes on, this keeps getting uglier and uglier. But goodbye, once beautiful sweet potato vine. I will see you again next year as well, as always. But your time is up. Alright guys, well, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to go and put up these peppers. So, have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.